Hello everyone, sorry for the late start and not functioning thing. I had to set up more than I thought, so wait, I need to add my camera. Where? Don't I? Oh yeah, right, I haven't set up the camera. Sorry, new PC and all that. But this should be... nope. Why is it all black? This should not be black. Bro. Why is... come on, man. There we go. So, but for some reason, the video is still black. Always professional standards here, right? Okay, now I need to find out why the camera isn't doing anything. But you guys can at least hear me currently, right? Music might be a bit too loud. I need to... okay, that should be better, right? But, Antonio, by the way. Ah, there we go. Switch. Hang up. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna fix this another time. This is good enough. Yes. Hi, the space-time signature. um, I don't know if I know you, but welcome to the stream. But yeah, I think everything should be set up now. We've got the camera, we've got the chair, we've got the music. You have an echo on my... Great. Oh, that's one. Now it should be better, right? Thank you for pointing that out, by the way. Some people just sit silently while the music is way too loud, or one cannot hear me for some other reason. Creatures. It's been a while since I've been active here on the stream. It's yeah, I took like a month off after the 2 huge patches I released. I was a bit burned out, needed a break. Oh, it's Space. Hi, Space. I thought you might be Space because you have a very space sounding name, but great to see you. I don't know, have you been in a stream before of mine? But either way, nice to have 2 guys on the in the chat active. But yeah, like I said, I took out 1 month break. I got a new PC for gaming and streaming in the meantime. And now I'm getting back into the motion of things, and that's also why I'm a little bit disoriented. So, oh wait, what? I forgot to set this up and that up, and blah. As always, dignified man, right? And I know the cam is like a slightly bit crooked, I think, but whatever. We're doing it live. Yes, it's lurking. Yes. Alrighty then. So it is time to create more creatures. I mean, we have a lot of creatures, but this is a setting-independent system. You can never have enough creatures. There's a whole multiverse of creatures we could create. So, and I know that I still got like a few notes from with a few potential creatures to make. I see there's this giant worm. And I know that a something like a giant worm is missing, right? I haven't done that one currently, right? Giant worm, just to make sure that I'm... Oh, I did do that one. Okay, it's already published. Then let's delete that one. Again, organized to the max. Maybe the dryad. Did I make the dryad already? Wait, is that even how you write dryad? Let's just look at the... Well, we had it devoted. I have not made that dryad yet. Excellent. So... Wait, maybe I can rearrange OBS, because if I'm looking at the chat, I have to spin my head all the way over there. Maybe I can put you there, and I put the live controls over here because I don't have to keep that watching. There we go. Right, now I can just click and I see the chat. So, let's do the dryad. Why not? It's not like I'm... Oh, wait a second. I should probably close the stuff. I don't... Yeah. And we need the creatures. Creature builder. Ta-da! No, I want you in a separate window. I think you need to make more spirit creatures. Yes. That's why I designed the dryad. I think you were the one who gave that feedback, and that's why I started to do that. But then there was the month-long break, and but yeah, time to get started. So, and the music stopped for some reason, or First of all, why are you... Okay. First of all, do you even write Dryad that way? Let's look that up, shall we? Dryad? Dryad. I think this might actually... Just... Leo, my good old feller. Dryad. Boom. Yeah, that's correct. So let's start with the name. I just realized, do we have maybe a nature spirit template I could be using? GM's guide. Templates. And then we go with spirit. I think we have a few. Fae. Nature sprite. Spirit, I mean, yeah. Let's take a look at the nature spirit template. Maybe we can use that. That would cost us less work. Nature, what do you get? So, it's a medium spirit creature. Features ley line powered environment I live in. So we could make this a forest, for example. Forest. Weakening environment. Civilization. Yeah, that also makes sense, right? It should get weaker if it's like in a city or something. Allergy medium pollution. Just one substance that is... there's another one of those mouse over arrows. Resistantly capable of encountering. You're tainted until the next worst whenever exposed to it. All of that makes sense. What about vulnerabilities? Resistant to poison and spirit damage. Vulnerable to chemical. I think it would make sense to also add a vulnerability to heat. Since, you know, Dryad, they usually like a bit wooden. But I mean, not all of the pictures, but even... Let's like take a general look at Dryad images. I mean, okay, they're not necessarily always looking like tree people, sometimes. What do you say, guys? Should I give... It doesn't make sense to give it a heat vulnerability, right? It's a tree spirit. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a heat vulnerability. Question... I mean, chemical pollution still makes sense, right? Also, chemical damage is usually very good against organic matter. Yeah. Maybe we can add another resistance to compensate for that. Maybe since it's just give it heat vulnerability. Thank you, Antonio. I think we're gonna make it resistant to shock damage because wood doesn't conduct lightning that well. I know, technically not necessarily made out of wood, but it's a wood. It's a wood adjacent spirit. And we gotta compensate that heat vulnerability somehow. So, then, okay, yeah, I think this is a good template. So, let's just copy the name, our Dryad, and we can delete this one. Lightning explodes trees. Okay, but to be fair, lightning explodes a lot of stuff. It's you have to compare it to like a taser. More fine. No shock resistance. Does any other make sense? Holy physical curse code. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, maybe we can give it like a positive trait in exchange. We got to... Let's take a look at the trait list. What can you... we could go for a simple... Ooh, maybe hardened armor, you know. Wood, skin, quotations. But I mean, we are gonna have that with natural... Wait a second, does it have natural... It does not have a natural armory. We're gonna give it natural armory. And that way we are actually need 2 negatives. Wood can't conduct electricity, but I know dryads are not trees. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna need those points anyway to pay for the extra greater talent. Greater talent. And because obviously a nature spirit has natural armory. But now we gotta pay for those 2 somehow. Bark skin. I want to make a dog with bark skin. Oh, that's so dumb. And genius at the same time. Oh. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Ishanekon Brawl invite for this Sunday. If you like, build a dog with bark skin for that one. 0 stories, so just go wild. Okay, now we need a something to weaken. Okay, so we need negative traits. We could go the easy route and just take stat point reduction, but let's take a look if we want something that might be more fitting. Bad eyesight, alcoholic, bad jumper, blood rage, bound to divinity. As a nature spirit, it is sort of bound to nature and the will of nature. So maybe bound to divinity and then go with the Mother Earth or something like that. That could make sense. Let's keep looking if we see something interesting. Crippling status effects. Oh, thinking about it, does it make sense if it has any status resistances? I don't think so. But, yeah. First translation dead. Yeah, no. Different temperatures, drinking vehicle, eating disorder. Wait, I should remove the vehicle features. This is not a vehicle. Cool. Oh yeah, that's like a mental. But during form. I think we're just gonna go with bound to divinity. That 3 owns people body. That's why she's in the forest, to get away from all those criminal gangs and loan sharks. They can deal with the wrong man. Indeed. It's funny. Imperfect, inefficient craftsman, lack of control. Light sensitivity, none of them. Limping, limited, slow, time, maneuver, hand signs, missing arm, monolingual, moving fly, mute, no. Possession. I think I'm gonna go with bound by divinity and will of nature. But let's just make sure, just a quick, sensitive, skill reduction, slow, blah blah blah, slow to enter, stat reduction, twilight bind, uncreative, unpredictable, unreliable, valuable power, valuable parts. I mean, she is a magic creature. Yeah, mute would be interesting, but most dryads in most settings can talk. So I'm not gonna give it mute. Valuable parts, maybe? Sometimes those forest spirit types don't speak, or at least don't speak common. You're right about that, definitely. But often they can talk. So I'm going with yeah. Even though valuable parts is, you know, very alluring, I think I'm not gonna go with that. I think I'm gonna go with Bound to Divinity. Bound to... Oh. What was it called? Bound to Divinity. There we go. And now we have a total of 0. Nice. Natural clothes, lamp. I'm gonna go with light. Medium sounds a bit too heavy. And weapons. That's a good question. Another good question, what kind of base stats are we gonna choose? I think for a Dryad, Charisma makes sense. Maybe like a Charisma will creature. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And maybe we could go with a magical instrument. I mean, she's not really gonna be a weapon user anyway. The build here is very much built around utility shenanigans and a bit of combat, yes, but I just realized, does she even have a directly offensive ability? Okay, physical ground, bleed ground, physical eruptions, defy. Huh. Ah, wait, path of attack. So she will be primarily a weapon attacker. Okay. So, maybe we can go with something more magical, mystical. By the way, I'm playing Time Clickers. I presume that's a clicker game. I used to play a few of them in the past, but to be honest, I kind of feel like there are more stimulating video games out there, and it's just hijacking the numbers parts of your brain. But hey, it's your free time. This is a free country, and if you enjoy it, why not? Okay, so the weapon choice is important. Maybe we can go with a charisma dexterity type character. I mean, they are usually depicted as a very nimble creature. Let's just take a look at what sorts of charisma based weapons there are. I think maybe it's more efficient if I just items, any stat, charisma. What do we got? Booming instrument, chain. So stuff with charisma and instrument, something like a flute that can deal psychic damage might be interesting. And I think something more physical. Maybe give her a rapier and reflavor it as something else. Like her punching you, or maybe we could go like with vines and with a whip. That could work. Ooh, or maybe like go full Urumi. But no, she doesn't have like AoE stuff. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with the whip and reflavor it as vines, with which she hits you. So features, whip, and instrument. I think it's just called. Is it called small instrument or instrument? The one hand. Yeah, small instrument is the one-handed version. Okay. Wait, no. I think it might make sense. Like if it's a flute, it's like two-handed, right? So. Yeah, I'm gonna with two-handed. Just instrument. HLM. Instrument. There we go. Oh, there's only one weapon that starts with I. Yeah, nature spirits are like amorphous. I can easily see them reshaping hands and arms to be whatever weaponry. Yeah, does make sense. It's after all not a mystical creature. It is a sprite creature type. So, and sprites are spirits. And spirits are supposed to be more supernatural in nature, less physically biological beings. But yeah, will of nature. And let's just. Why is my cell phone making noises? I should silence cell phone. You shall not distract me with frivolous stuff. Okay, let's add those items. Light armor, a whip, and an instrument. Yeah, and I can imagine it just like summoning the flute out of nowhere, and it just appearing. So it's not really a physical object in the traditional sense. Oh yeah, and equipment. I should not forget equipment. Equip. Okay. Languages, 2 of your choice. Yeah, I think we're gonna stick with that. And this looks like a hybrid creature, yes. So hybrid, and that means 2 weapon proficiencies. Whip is simple, I think, right? Whip is simple, yes. So we're going with simple and mind. Simple and mind. And armor, light, medium. I'm just gonna keep like languages 2 of your choice, so it stays flexible to your setting. Yeah, let's go with the stats. And yeah, it makes sense. Max dexterity, max charisma, high instinct as a nature spirit. I think it makes sense that she has high instincts. Decent will. Let's give her a bit of strength and constitution, but not much. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And skills. I would say, how many do we have? 12. I'm just gonna spread a few, that makes sense. Grace should be high, definitely. Deception. Yes, I think a decent amount of deception. Anything else that makes sense? Supernatural. Okay, survival probably already gives her all the knowledge she needs about nature, so I don't need to give her natural science. Presence. Yeah, I'm gonna give her a bit of presence. Analysis. Oh yeah, I should give her high animal handling and reduce some other stuff like presence and maybe deception. Okay, that's enough. Alright, adding the features, she starts with the Druid feature, the first one. Druid. Power of the Elements. And yep, can talk and understand animal and plant creatures. Very fitting for a dryad. And ability wise, we have Night Vision. Teleportation. Charm. And with Sticky Ground and Camouflage. I think we... Oh, show developer tools. Oh yeah, right. I should have set priorities instead of putting in melee. You can see it's been a while since since I've done this, right? So, charisma primary. Yeah, dexterity secondary stat. I'm gonna go with like 100% instinct. How did I? 70% will. And the rest is like 30. And skills wise, high grace, high animal handling, and a bit deception, a bit presence, and decent supernatural. Those were all right. Okay. Okay. Apply priorities should be fine. Yep. And we've got everything here. Oh yeah, right. Before I forget it, vines. Yep. Okay. We've got everything chosen. Yep. Okay, then let's 1, 2, 3. Next level, path of the attack, and I think I will go with 2 attacks. That right doesn't give me the feeling of somebody who hits really hard, but also not somebody who is like very quick. So just generally 2 attacks. 2 attacks, and 100%. And 50%, and we get lesser talent night vision. I know she already has this as an ability, but it just makes sense to night vision. Right. And now she can see even further if she wants to with the ability. And control humanoid, because why charm a creature if you can just mind control it? And stone spirit, which in this case is more like wood spirit. The book. That's it. So yeah, just double checking. Excellent. 1, 2, 3. Increase the attack damage of the second attack. Take the fortify feature. Fortifier. Blessed ground. So now her animal allies can just move through her weird ground stuff. Oh, blessed ground, right. I need to choose which ones. I think I took physical ground and bleed ground. Okay. Hang on a second. Maybe it's like spiky physical ground. That's the thing with the notes, right? You just write something down without, necessarily having the very specific name in your head. But let's continue adding abilities. Defy. For some anti-magic defense. Spiky physical ground. There we go. And bleeding ground. Thorns that shred you if you try to pass them. Nasty stuff. What was the... physical eruption. That way she has an AoE. Like, or I mean, I guess bleeding ground and spiky ground are already AoEs, but this is a more direct AoE. Okay, we got everything done. So 1, 2, 3. Increase the damage of the first attack. And just something simple. We don't want to overcomplicate our creatures, so she gets a bonus to defense rolls. Defense. I think it was called highly defensive. Yeah, highly defensive. And abilities: poison, status ground, and life vision. Life vision. Oh, life vision. And poison. I think it's called elemental. Elemental ground, and you choose elemental ground, right? And we pick poison. You know, using all sorts of spores and poison ivy and stuff. And we've got everything. So 1, 2, 3, and increase the attack damage. Take the second fortifier feature. Fortifier. Yeah, that doesn't. Okay. Now let's add something like grabbing wrath. Or I think it was grabbing wrath. Yeah. You know, the idea that she summons vines that come out of the ground, grabbing everybody around here. And mental wrath, I think. Oh, was the name? Yeah. For charm. That's everything. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Final level. Final damage increase. Oops, 2000. You'd be hit too strong. And yeah, perseverance mastery. Oh, wait a second. Huh. Yep, I did not give her any perseverance. But to be fair, we are GMs. We can just cheat and take will and power or willpower twice, and basically have had as a greater trait. Oh, there we go. Gain greater traits. Because we are GM approved. Because we are the GM. Alright, and now the final two abilities. Physical wrath and elemental explosion. Poison. Safe, and we got a dryad. Oh, I forgot to download Visual Code Studio. I mean, that shouldn't take too long, right? Visual Code Studio. Download. This should do it. Yeah, whatever. I sell you my soul. Typical. Was there an option to change it to English? Whatever, I can. Okay, I need not a walkthrough. I need. Give me new file. This is... Oh yeah, wait, I can just... Oh, and I need to choose... So, try Jason... Wait, is it already... Untrusted? Yeah. I trust the file. Look at this trustworthy file. Now we put it down here. Alright. Let's... Huh? Oh. For a second I thought there was an error, but there wasn't. I just haven't adjusted this Excel before because I also just downloaded it. And yeah, somebody sent me a WhatsApp message. I shall not be deterred and continue vigilantly with the stream. Unless it's about the stream. Anyway, yeah. Items. I'm gonna close you. So now let us think. What makes sense? Maybe a balance between evasion, armor, and DR boosts. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So let's start with the DR boosts. The defense matrix. Then we add lighter armor. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna give her the armor boost. I think I'm sticking with defense matrix and lighter armor. And yeah, the chat went silent. Hey. Are you still there, guys? Or is there an error on my side? I'm paranoid as always, aren't I? For the whip, I think I'm gonna go with precise weapon. And instrument. I think for instruments I'm gonna make a mix between precise and improved. Yes, I am here. Okay, so it's not everything's good. Please, people, I have anxiety. Sorry for being such a clown. So, and equipment, yeah, let's just keep it simple and give it a willpower boost. Oh, you know what? No, a balance between willpower and vitality. It is supposed to be a hybrid creature after all. So, 1/1, whip 1 has 2. Okay, generate those items, baby. Ooh. And there we go. Is it new? Yes. Was it made by? Me. And it is sort of, I mean, the whip is more of a backup weapon, really. I'm gonna go with like ranged, technically, and control and utility. Makes sense. Or maybe like ability. Yeah, I'm gonna also say yes to ability generalist. It doesn't cover all abilities, but it has some damage, it has some control, it has some utility. That covers a lot. And this will be. Whoa! Those are. I thought I had like a 150, not 170. Nice. Dryad, was it right? Dryad, yes. Complexity, I'm gonna go with 3 because it has many moving parts, a lot of abilities. Faults for beginners. Genre. That's a good question. Let's go with the creatures. Cartoon. I mean, you can argue a lot with what could fit into a cartoon. Maybe like Trickster Spirit. Oh, I'm gonna go cartoon. Cosmic Horror, not really. Cyberpunk. This is like the anti-cyberpunk. Fantasy, definitely. Historical, horror, modern, noir, post-apocalypse, prehistoric, sci-fi, steampunk, superhero, urban fantasy. And it is a normal, hybrid, spirit, sprite, medium, charisma, dexterity, charisma. Voila! It eats. I mean, the description and the notes are missing, but I prefer to do those outside the stream. So yeah, ta-da! A new sprite creature. Let's see what else makes sense. Have I added the kaiju yet? That could be a fun one. A new boss creature. Let's see. How do you write kaiju again? Kaiju. But it doesn't seem to find any kaiju. So yeah, let's go with the kaiju. Radioactive kaiju. I think I even have a template for kaijus, right? GM Sky, there we go. Mutant. There we go. Oh, it's written like that. Maybe I do have it. Still can't find the kaiju. Okay, so it appears I have not made the kaiju yet. Let's take the template. Why are you beeping? Sorry, headphones are beeping. Maybe it's because of some cable configuration I have here. Too bad. I mean, if it's just occasionally beeping, that's just like mildly annoying at the worst. So I could keep up this cable configuration. I will think about it in the future. Not right now. Let's import the kaiju template. Mwahaha. Radioactive kaiju. Oh yeah, let's reload that to reset all the priority things. But show developer tools. Develop. Alright, let's see. A boss makes sense. Big plus. That would make it bigger than the Kraken. And let's see, feature-wise, we've got monolingual. It's basically kaiju language, whatever it is. Polluting power source. So whenever it uses a biological power, which in case of a kaiju, it's all of it, it makes the environment slightly radioactive. And extreme self-healing. Yep. Blaze? Yes. What's up? Space? Why the ominous ... blaze? We need to set up a kaiju battle. Yeah, it's a kaiju. It's huge. I mean, we already had a kaiju battle last time, right? I mean, both for context, we had a game last week. Antonio and Space were there, and they fought a Kraken. And one of the tactics they used were to use manipulate size on one of their allies to make it just as big as the Kraken. So we had this big plus fighters just duking it out with everybody being. Oh, you mean like maybe like Ishanekon Brawl or Ishanekon Arena, where the theme is everybody has to be a kaiju. But the thing is, if everybody's just a kaiju, then you can just use the alternative size rules. Whether under alternative rules or whether under just this. I think it was under alternative rules. Was it size? Scaling, size, and area effect. There we go. So we just bring our kaiju character. So if everybody's just kaiju, it would probably make sense to just readjust the medium size so that it even has kaiju, for example. What, for example, do you do if you play a game where all the players play as kaiju? Just realized this kaiju is not written correctly. Wait, let me just find out how you're actually right. Kaiju? Leo, tell me. How do you... Kaiju? I mean, it is technically Japanese, isn't it? Kaiju. Seems kaiju. Yeah, I think... Okay, so... We just found a typo in... We're scaling, yeah. There's the example with what if all the players play as kaiju? Or what if the players play as cells in a human body? Such as you can just scale all the standard 1 meter to whatever size fits your setting best. For kaiju, you could have a 10 by 10 by 20 meter as your standard medium size. For the cells, it could instead be 10. Are those micrometers? I don't know, 10. I'm pretty sure I looked that up when I wrote this down. Everything else, like ability, weapon ranges, and basic movement, can just easily scale from the baseline you and your group agree upon. So yeah, maybe we make like a city battle map, and the buildings are just tiny, and you're just like 20-meter tall kaiju. Safe. And I think I can close this one. Well, it would be a funny thing, you know. Give me that world destruction. Indeed, all the buildings are just medium sized compared to you. Should be easy enough to break it. Is the music still? I think this music is just really quiet, and that's why I barely can hear it. By the way, speaking of world destruction, that's why I've gave the kaiju destroyer features, just so they can easily destroy all sorts of objects. Do I give him like anything? Oh, second phase. Second phase plus battle frenzy. Ooh. But okay. So, what about resistance to chemical and heat? Makes sense as a radioactive beast. Vulnerable to cold and shock. Yeah, like Godzilla is, at least in the earlier movies, I think was at least slowed down by electrical wires, if I remember correctly. Plus the whole lightning defeats dragons type thing. I think that makes sense. Are we missing anything? I do not have natural armory. Now the question is... No, it would make sense to allow them to have arms. So I'm not going to remove the arms, because even though they typically don't wield weapons, they can still like pick up and grab stuff. So okay, greater talent, and we will have to compensate for that somehow. Greater talent. Additional. Wait, what am I typing? I'm getting tired again, aren't I? But I haven't even been streaming an hour. Come on! Get in the game! You had enough of a vacation. Let's do this. Those are additional features. I want natural armor, which is a greater talent. Armory. Nah, okay, of course natural armory. So, what do we do with the drunken sailor? Do I have like colossal hammer as a weapon? Makes sense. Let's go AoE. Heavy armor definitely. Colossal hammer. Wait to see. Colossal hammer. And do we give it? I mean, it does have somewhat of a fire breath, but I think, yeah, I'm not gonna give it a range, even though, okay, but Godzilla isn't shown like throwing stuff often, so I'm not gonna give it a large throwing weapon. I'm just gonna keep the colossal hammer. And demolition. Bigger demolition. Okay. Inventory. Heavy armor. Colossal hammer. Equipment. Ability. I need to move this a bit to the right. There we go. He is already a boss creature, right? Boss fighter. This looks like a fighter. Alright. Primary stat strength, secondary stat constitution. Yeah, makes sense. It's just a big, huge lizard monster. That. Okay, so primary stat strength, secondary stat constitution. What else makes sense? I think high instinct, but I guess they're not like known for their speed. Let's go maybe 50%. They have like an uncanny intelligence sometimes, so let's give it 50%. Yeah, let's keep dexterity low. High willpower. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Show skills. I don't want to make, but okay, it's a kaiju. It makes sense that it has high endurance. Of course, menace and raw force. I go like 90%, so that raw force is prioritized. Oh, yeah, I just gave it 90% in disguising. I just have this image of where's Godzilla, and he's just wearing like those weird glasses with a fake nose. I haven't seen him. I think he went that way. Okay, what else makes sense? It is a boss creature, so it has... Oh, wait a second, I haven't given it a negative trait yet. And I know what makes sense, since it doesn't make sense that it is such a skillful creature. We're gonna remove skill points. Yay! Skill reduction. We lose 3 skill points. And we take it twice. Boom. Balance restored. Who got that reference? Godzilla? No, my name is Girl. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, that was a great one, Space. Okay, but we're probably still gonna need to pick something else. Let's see. I mean, they're somewhat of a hunter, so let's go with survival. Psychology, presence. I mean, I did give it. Let's give it like some perseverance, so it has something if it starts to overflow. It's already got menace, so I don't think I need to give it presence. Meta, got luck, intuition, improvisation. Maybe like decent intuition. Or maybe analysis because of that. But I mean, some kaijus are more like mindless beasts. I don't think I'm going to give it analysis. Maybe a bit of athletics. Okay, let's see if this is enough. Did it overflow? No. Okay, looks like it has enough space to handle things. Excellent. Features. I added the features, but I have not added the abilities yet. Fire eruption. Oh, it's heat eruption. Doi. But radioactive stuff is heat category, so this is more like an atomic breath. And mighty stomp. So surrounding it is a bad idea. Let me just add stomp to colossal hammer, or stomp tail. Yeah, stomp or tail. Wait, when it comes to creatures, is like stomp comma tail or stomp slash tail? Let's take a look. What makes, I think animals have life? No. It's still didn't you help me out with that, Space? Or was that Toonbolt? I think one of you helped me out by bite and claws. Oh, you just wrote ant. Huh. Maybe there isn't like consistency. Oh wait, yes, cat are just claws. So bunny, I think it's just bite for bunny. Yeah. I need, oh, dragon. Yeah, a dragon has multiple things. Dragon. Electrified dragon. Claws or tail, or bite or wings. Okay, so basically it's or. So we're going with or. Stomp or tail. Toon did all the writing and stuff. Ah, okay. But yeah, I'm very grateful for all the stuff you do, guys, to help me out. Finding exploits, helping out here and there a bit. It definitely makes my job easier. So language kaiju, yeah, makes sense. Armor, it's a fighter, so light, medium, heavy. And weapon, colossal is simple. Made D. Oh, but now here's the thing. The thing has arms. If we give it military proficiency, it will basically be able to take up like a colossal cannon or something and start blasting with it. But like tech doesn't make any sense either. Bye, Antonio. Great that you were here. See you around. And unearthly also doesn't make sense. And okay, it has to be military. And let's just hope it doesn't find a gun or an assault rifle in its size. Military. Pickup tank. Use it as a hand. Ah! Yeah! Yeah! Okay. I think we've got everything. Inventory, abilities, features, and level up. Alright. But these are boss creatures, so we have to add something with every level. Now let's add the first destroyer feature. You've met Godzilla, now meet Godzilla with a gun. Oh wait, I forgot. I mean, it's just a minor thing, so it's not really important. I'm not gonna fix it for the one level, but I'm gonna still add natural armory. Right here. So we got Destroyer, but no ability, so level up. And we've got Rejuven. I think they hit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I need to change this setup with the cables. Who's afraid? I mean, I guess I can show you guys. I have like this extension where you have the antenna for the headphones and the cable for the light. And I use it so it's easily accessible on the table, so I can plug in and out as I did. But this thing is a bit older. And if you plug more than one thing in, sometimes get a big, it gets a bit buggy. And I think the energy for the light is sort of interfering with the headphones and causing problems. And yeah, I'm gonna fix it next time. Okay, we were at rejuvenation. Because it's a mutated kaiju, of course it can just heal itself. Also be very careful. He can use that even if he's restrained. Which means if he's down and you're like, yay, he's dead, then on his turn he's like, nope, one action point, I'm up again. Okay, we have rejuvenation and a new ability, Heat Shock Wave. Also known as aiming the atomic bomb below, so it just like spreads in all directions. Heat Shock Wave. Okay, that is everything. So level up, we gain a path, and of course he just gets one mighty attack. One attack, which is 100%. I know it's 150%. And Focus Explosion is a lesser talent. So that if he only hits one guy with his attack, it still hurts. So where is it? Here it is. No ability, so level up, mighty. So just extra DR power to ensure that those atomic breaths hit. And yeah, ability, physical assault. It always makes me like I know it like makes with elemental assaults and so on, but like physical assaults, it just sounds a bit too rare to me. But it makes sense for the naming convention. Okay, so we've got the ability, we got the feature. Level up. Defensive and cover piercer. So removing that cover advantage, especially strong combined with destroyer. And that objects generally, I think, have a vulnerability to AoE damage, right? What was it again? I should... Was it just AoE weapons? Objects. Most optional. Wasn't there like a... oh yeah. Objects have initiative 0. Objects have resistance against non-area of effect range weapons. Okay, it's weapon attacks, not just AoEs in general. Okay, oh, I feel my concentration slipping, but we gotta do this. Kaiju. Yeah, I think I'm gonna finish the kaiju and then just accept that I might be too tired. It's been a stressful week. Oh, but I gotta work. I gotta work. Gotta work. Yes, we were. Did I already add? Yes, defensive and cover piercer. No ability. Level up. Let's increase the weapon attack damage before we forget it. And the second destroyer feature. The destroyer. Destroy. So more damage for AoE abilities. And heat explosion. Oh wait, it's elemental explosion. Mental. Oh yeah. There's like a bajillion elemental stuff. Could you specify it a bit? Elemental explosion. Okay. Yeah. We've got the explosion. We still we added the feature. So level up. Defensive. So extra DR. Defense. Highly defensive. There we go. And nothing else. So level up. Will to act. Powerful. Will. I purposefully add a lot of just basic stat bonuses to creatures. So especially boss creatures. So that they're easier to run for GMs. I'm actually also thinking of reworking all the creatures. For example, when I ran the Kraken for you guys, I realized it has a lot of features, and it's even if it's just the Kraken, it can be quite difficult for a GM to keep track of all of that. So I'm considering reworking the Kraken, making it simpler. Okay, power. Well, that's what. Oh yeah, powerful. Powerful. Those atomic breaths are hard to dodge. Now it gets elemental aura heat. So now just getting close to hit makes this difficult because he's just that radioactive. And yeah, we got the ability, we got the features. Level up, increase path damage, and we get the next destroyer feature. Destroyer. Stunning explosion. So now he can even stun you with his atomic blast. It's just that overwhelming. And do we get an ability? No, we don't. Level up. Extra armor. Those are some tough mutated scale. Hardened armor, I think. No? Greatly hardened armor. And we've had that. And ability Raging Inferno. Wasn't that the one that can hit yourself? Choose, yeah. That starts within range. Everyone standing in the line and within 1 meter of you has to make a dexterity defense roll. On a failure, they receive 17.6 heat damage. On a success, they only receive half much. You have to make a constitution defense roll. On a failure, yeah, you receive half as much heat damage. So yeah, this ability is so strong. But it can also burn yourself. Raging Inferno. Level up. Armor. Oh yeah, durable and armor. Just generally more tanky. Durable. Armor. Oh wait, there's too many things that interact with armor. Hardened armor, there it is. Next time I just type in hard or something. We've got the features, but no abilities, so level up. We increase path damage. And the next destroyer feature. Destroyer. Now, bigger boom. So you can just have like this hyper death beam that atomizes everything. Very dangerous. And Battle Frenzy. Okay, we've got everything, so level up. And second phase. If you it gives you a self buff if your vitality drops below half. And since this is very much a boss encounter, and I think I'm gonna go with Battle Frenzy. Now this is probably the biggest jump in power. Auto casting Battle Frenzy on yourself when your vitality goes below half. Oh, very dangerous. Okay, we've got the second phase, no ability. So let's level up. Just simple vitality boost. I'm gonna go with endurance. Endurance master. Endurance. Hell, those typos. Too many typos. I do have enough endurance, right? I'm pretty sure I have 7. That's more than enough. And yeah, ability, we get Heath Wrath. So Elemental Wrath. Mental Wrath. Everybody gets burnt. Which, by the way, you can also target in the object, right? Every target of your choice. So you can also target every building around you, every block, and just atomize it. Combine that with bigger demolition and big boom, and you just have this absolutely devastating. Everything gets atomized, no cover, nothing is left standing. Very scary encounter. Yep, final level. Final path increase. And he just gets the last destroyer feature. Which tier 5 things are very powerful. What did the destroyer do again? Twin boom. Oh yeah, you can choose to hit twice as many targets or choose an additional area when you attack something. And that should be it. Save and voila! Yeah, boss creatures are always a bit more complicated. Since they get a feature every single level. But they're important. And yes, we need the items. We already have given him the items. I think heavy armor will just... Yeah, I'm giving him extra armor, nothing else. He's a big, large, tough target, but not something that dodges or anything. Colossal hammer. I think, yeah. Improved weapon, just increase the damage, improve. And what should I do with equipment? I think just extra vitality, or you know what? Maybe extra willpower. As a fighter, he doesn't have much willpower, but the destroyer needs a lot of ability. Yeah, I'm gonna go with willpower. There we go. It's only weight of 33. Oh boy, that's more than the inventory of most normal medium creature types. Yeah. Generate item. There we go. And it's natural. Let's enlarge this for a second. And it's got new. It's made by me. It is, yeah, it has a good melee attack. It's definitely defensive, definitely damage ability. That's kind of it. So, what's going on? Why aren't you? Something seems off. Why can't I see like column A? There we go. Okay, 71. Radioactive kaiju. Complexity. I'm gonna go with 2. And now for the settings. We've got cartoon, not really cosmic horror. It's not really cosmic horror. Cyberpunk, fantasy, also not historical. Also horror, yeah. I'm gonna go with horror. I mean, it's not like the classic horror monster, but Cloverfield, for example, is definitely shot like a horror movie. Modern war, post-apocalypse, yes. Radioactive giant lizard. Fits in the post-apocalypse. Prehistoric, sci-fi. I mean, yeah, you can have like sci-fi. Well, not, yeah, I'm not gonna steampunk. Superheroes, yes. But I think that's... Nah, urban fantasy and Wild West don't make that much sense. Okay, it's the boss creature. It's a fighter. It's a biological mutant. It is big plus the first quadruple plus creature, or at least I'm pretty sure it's the first one. Yeah. And primary stat strength, secondary stat constitution, evasion stat strength. Alright then, 2 new creatures. I think they're kind of cool. The Dryad with its weird shenanigans, mind controlling, less conventional encounter and more like a trickster in a sense. And the radioactive kaiju, which is just this incredibly massive, imposing boss creature. I like it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop it now. I gotta get back into the whole streaming groove, right? Get a better sleep cycle, be more refreshed, and then next time I can be more entertaining. Wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. it's good to laugh at oneself. So, thank you everybody who watched or is gonna watch in the future, and see you around. Probably gonna stream again next week.